Alright, chapter 21, block attributes. We will learn in this chapter what are block attributes created with the block attributed height of the block attributed values, how to extract attributed values of the drawing. What are block attributes? We discussed in the previous chapter how add a dynamic feature for the block to the more versatility, but still the block does not include any of the data for any sort of the block attributes as a way with included information inside of the block. Once with the scope of the feature for the AutoCAD, we have to ask ourselves who are we? Are we creators of the block, or people who will use the block? Depending on the answer, they will understand the role of each one. If you're the creator of the block which contains the attributes, you will define the attributed definitions, which a question, an example would be the color, cost, and height and width. If the user who will insert the block will be 1 over the input values for the question example, the red 12.993 foot 6 inches 2 by 16 2 6 foot 2 foot 6 inches. Procedure is very simple to draw the graphical shape of the block. We'll use the attributed definition command with the attributed you want and select the data. Use the block command, normal command to create the dot. Block defining the block which contains the attributed, insert of the block and fill in with the values. Set the visibility of the attributes, add the attributes to either the value of the definitions, extract with the data of the table, so inside of the drawing or Excel with the database. How to define and attribute to the OS file. Let's have the create with attributed definition issue with the command insert tab, locate with the block definition panel, select with the define attributed button, or command ATTDEF. Following dialog box will appear. Attributed, show the mode, insertion point, attribute the tag, prompt, the tag setting, justification, oriented of the height, rotation. The 4 parts of the dialog box are the attributed prompt came with 3 different things, of which are tag, which attribute the name of the select with the desired name, prompt, which will represent the message appear with the asking of the police for the information, default, if there's value repeated more than once, for the place for the input of the value is connected with the field, with the click with the bottom of the right input of this field. Your mode part of the 6 mode with attributed definitions are invisible will create with the invisible attributed existing but it does not appear with the drawing. Constant, create a constant value with all the insertions. Preset with create with the attributed which will be applied with the default value. Verify users will be asked to input with the attributed to twice with the verify with the value applies only with a command window input. Lock position in the mode will lock the position. Attributed definition multiple lines allowed with the input with the multiple line text rather than single line text. Or your text settings part. The settings will control the appearance of the attributed definition of the justification will allow the specify the text justification text style specify the text style with the recommended with the create with the text style prior to this step. Where the text will be annotated with the not with the text height with the input with the height with the user and the text style with the height is 0 with the rotation input with the rotation angle with the attributed definition. Boundary width only with the multiple lines option selected will be then line length for the multiple lines. Insertion point part. The part specified with the position with the attributed definition either by type of the coordinates by selecting the specify on screen the insert of the second attributed. You will have the choice of aligning the new attributed with the previously with the inserted attributed. Make sure that the following checkbox is on. Align previous attributed definition attributed block command create with a block from the graphically attributed with attributed you select with them in the same order you will like them to appear. Alright, inserting blocks attributed. You should control the attributed questions which will appear with the system variable ATD diameter or attributed DIA. Or ATTDIA will do the job of the two values of from ATTDIA 0 questions shown with a command window or equal to 1 question will appear with the dialog just like the following. 21.4 How to control the attributed visibility. Attributed to either visible and invisible part with the scuff of the chain with the staff of the template. In order to control the attributed visibility, go to Insert tab, locate with the block panel, edit extend the panel, click with the list. Show the display all attributes and also show the hide all attributes and retain all attributes to display. As in display above the 3 choices, pick up the retain all attributed to display, which means the AutoCAD will show the visibility and hide the invisible. Display all attributes with the mean AutoCAD will show over the attributes, hide all the attributes, meaning the AutoCAD will hide all the attributes. Practice. Alright, 21.5 How to edit an individual attributed value. The part will discover the ability with the edit with the invisible block attributed to you can edit with not only the values but lots of the other things. There are 2 ways to reach this command. Double-clicking an existing block with attribute, go to Insert tab of the block panel, but then click Edit Attribute select with a single button. Then you'll see something like the following. Show the Enhanced Block Editor, block tag, attributed text option, properties, select block, tag prompt values, and apply. There are 3 tabs, attributed text options and properties. You'll see with the attributed tab, when you're starting editing this tab, you change the value with the attributed specific block, the text option tab, see the following. You see for the change of everything related with the textile with a specific block attributed to the property of the table C. Layer, line type, color, blot style, line weight. These can change anything related to the proper layer, line type, color, line weight. 21.6. How to edit the attributed value of the globally. What if you have many instances of the block and you want to have changed one specific value with all instances of the above the method of the lengthy and tedious of the AutoCAD offers a single command, every known as find and replace command, to issue the command, the annotate tab, locate the text panel. You'll find the field with the find text inside it. Click inside the field and type the value of the attribute you want to change globally, and then click the small button to the right and you'll see the following dialog box. Your find and replace, find what, replace with, and the extend of this dialog box with the small arrow lower left hand corner of the dialog box so it's full. You'll see the following shows a find what, replace with, list, results, search options, testing, and replace all, find, done, help. Make sure the following: either the text types, make sure the block's attributed values on. Either the search option, make sure the search block is on. Using search option, make sure the ignore hidden items is off. Finally, click one of the three execution commands: find, replace, or replace all. That goes into a practice. How to refine any of the sync attributed definitions if you found there's a missing attributed of your block. One want to remove the unneeded attributed. One you want to edit the mode of the existing attributed means you need to redefine the attributed of the block attributed manager, the issue of the command, go to insert tab, locate block definition panel, then select with the manager and attributed button, which is command BATT man. You'll see the following dialog box: block attributes manager, select block, sync, move up, down, edit, remove, tag, prompt, definition, mode, and annotation, found in mouse spaces, drawing, and settings, OK, apply, OK settings, and cancel. There are two ways to start with the command. Click with the button in the top right, select with the block, click with the left list of the right over the button, select with the desired block. Based on the selected block, you'll see the list of the attributes for this block. You can do the four things with the attributed, change the position, attributed relation to the other attributed by moving the selected attributed one position up, change the position, attributed relation with the other positions, moving the selected attributed one position down, moving the deleting selected attributed, of the definition selected attributed. You'll see the following dialog box: edit attributes. If the dialog box will appear with the tag of the prompt with the default value, mode, and all other text option properties as well. What about adding new attributes to the existing block? The answer for the question file with the steps. Insert the desired block, the drawing explode with the existing attributes will appear with the define with the new attribute to redefine the block using the same name. Whether we edit, delete, or add new attributes to the effect of the new insertion of the block, but already inserted incidents of the user, synchronize the order to see the change in order to issue the command, go to the insert tab, locate block definition, select with the synchronize button. Updates block references with the new and change attributes from the specified block definition. That command is ATT sync. You'll see the following: enter an option, name and select, enter the name of the block, choose the select option, select it. You'll see the following prompt: ATT sync, block window, yes or no. The input yes, AutoCAD will carry out the synchronization process of the newly added attributes will empty, so the user invited to fill them, and then double clicking, decreasing desired instance of the block, and then it goes into a practice. Alright, 21.8, how to extract attributes from files. Final step of the tracking of the data with the drawing and putting it into the table. Then step of the chain the drawing with another drawing, creating the Excel sheet with the access to the database existing. Extraction data AutoCAD will be done with a wizard which will produce the desired table without hassle. Access the command with going to insert table to locate the linking extraction panel. Then selecting extract data or data extraction is the command. The following dialog box will be data extraction, beginning page 1. You can pick for the 3 values option, create a new data extraction, previous extraction as a template, add existing data extraction. Let's assume you want to create a new extraction. Select the first option, click the next. AutoCAD will ask you to save the extraction file format as a wildcard.dxe file for future use. Following dialog box will come up. After saving the DXE file, you'll save the following dialog box. AutoCAD needs to know where you'll find the files, extract data, where you have the two choices to pick from certain files or sheet sets, or whether to include, exclude the current file. Select the object current drawing, select the first choice means You have to specify the folder drawing folders files. You have the two buttons on the right, and clicking Add Folder button, you'll see the following dialog box. There are four things in the control of the dialog box. Click the small button with three dots to specify the folder with the name of the desired file, with whether or not you want automatically include new drawings added into this folder with the data extracts, and select whether or not you want to include all subfolders in selected folders. Select whether or not you want to utilize the wildcard character selected drawing. Similar when we can do Windows search tool, for instance, commercial building drawing. Wildcard drawing means that you want to select all drawings files, start with commercial building. If you want to go to the second choice, simply click the small button to the right and select the desired object you want to extract data to make the wildcard. You go to something like this. When done, next button, you'll see the following dialog box. The list shows the object blocks in order to define the list, and use the checkbox beneath the three choices. Select whether or not to display all the objects and turn this off. If you have to, select whether to display block only or to display non-box only, whether or not to display the box attributed only. Select whether or not to display objects currently in use. Below examples will show the only blocks attributed, but the deselected one of the blocks we do not want to include with the extraction process. When done, click Next. You'll see the following dialog box at the right. Under the category filter, deselect all the choices except the attributed. Also, you can further deselect the attributed you do not want to include with the extraction process. When done, click Next. Activity the fifth step of the extraction wizard. You'll see the following dialog box. There's some basic functions you can do on this page. Sort with the table extending with the descending, clicking with the desired column header, changing the location of any of the column, clicking with the header, dragging the dropping chain with the column with the width by dragging line separating two columns. Select the combine identical rows, show column or not, show row or name of the column or not. If the right click any of the header, you'll see the following menu. Use this menu to do all of the following: rename, hide, show columns, select column data forms, see the following dialog box. Insert a new formula column. You'll see the following dialog box. In this dialog box, type the name of the new column with a drag, drop the name of the attribute that you want to use the arithmetic function between them. Edit and remove the formula column. Insert the total footer, create the filter with the selection command column. If you want to establish a link between the table of the Excel file, click with the link of the external data button at the right. If you want to advance sort creation, click with the sort columns option button at the right. If you want to establish data link between the extracted data in the Excel sheet, whereas the last button, full preview, will show the preview of the table. When done, click with the next step, and you'll see the following dialog box. User in this page decide the insert of the data extraction of the table, the current with the fill with the produce the external file shows the Excel sheet as the Access database file with it, when done. Next, you go to the seventh step of the following dialog box will come up. So for the table style you want to use, click the next, go to the last step of the following dialog box will come up. Click Finish to wrap the extraction process. Chapter Review Answers, Chapter 22, External Referencing.